So, so we, so fast forward to where we are at now, and we're kind of at this position where we don't know for certain whether there's a policy which can be challenged at this juncture for these sort of group lawsuits. And we had a meeting with the government on our motion for expedited discovery, our forthcoming motion on expedited discovery, about the cables that were given to rescind the prioritization scheme. And what they said is that sort of we have the ability to help you with certain cases, but we can't help you with these kind of, with the term she used, the anacondas, a big snake, basically huge cases. We can't just adjudicate 400 of those. So what she's saying is that if you bring us cases on a one-by-one basis, there may be ability to help move certain cases along. So that's an interesting approach that some people may want to think of. If I've been waiting a really long time, and I think I've been waiting for longer than other people that have been getting interviews, I can bring my claims directly to the court and open a channel just about my case. So that's sort of where we're at right now.
Okay, so I think that there will probably be questions about that solo mandamus option, but also questions about where we are procedurally. So probably we should just open it up to the questions because we got a couple hand raisers there. You want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that as well.
Okay. Aries, you need to unmute and then we can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, actually, I just want to know the status. I'm just following it through the email, and just because actually our situation is that our eldest is now 20 years old. I want to know what exactly is going. I really cannot follow the letters. I don't understand them that much. So that's only my question is. I just want to know.
Concerned about age out, you need to reach out to you. Have they submitted an age out expedite request on your case?
Sorry.
So you're concerned about the 20-year-old aging out, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so has our team submitted an age out expedite request on this case?
Sorry, it's not, the reception is not clear, but I already sent emails, multiple emails actually, regarding her aging out, but we are not receiving any positive response.
This is the kind of case where solo mandamus, bringing a case to the court just on your behalf, where the judge and the assistant United States attorney can look at the case just based on your facts alone, no other competing interests on this case but yours, and perhaps you can get a favorable result before that age out happens. So if you reach out to us about that case, and if you want to hire us to bring a solo case for you on this case before that person ages out, I think that would probably get the embassy and the Department of State to look at your facts of your case and then move forward on those cases. Because it doesn't seem like we're going to get quick traction in this case on the group cases if you have a concern for the 20-year-old aging out.
Yeah. Actually,
I just checked her file.
I consulted a lot.
If I understand correctly, your beneficiary is turning 20.
Yeah, sorry, I consulted.
So if I understand correctly, your beneficiary is about to turn 20 years old, right? Like their birthday's or they just turned 20. Like
she just turned 20 last November.
Right. So based on our experience, they're not going to expedite, like with an expedite request, an age out that doesn't age out for more than a year from now. Would you agree, Raphael?
I would agree.
But that doesn't mean it wouldn't work for mandamus.
Right. And, things move slowly through the court. So if you have a concern, right, mandamus moving quickly is about 90 days, just a quick resolution for mandamus action. So that may be something you want to consider, get the ball rolling now, so you don't run into that, super high stress situation of being right at the deadline.
Okay.
But it seems like you've tried the group case, and you've tried to email it specifically to email specifically on your case, and that hasn't worked. So that's what we're saying is the next option for you.
Okay. So actually, I have consulted another lawyer before you regarding my daughter's case, and they said she's protected with this is called CSPA. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, CSPA. Yeah. So they said that my daughter is already protected with that.
Well, FISPA isn't a
I'm not sure.
for into infinity. Remember that. So there's a calculation that you have to do to figure out how long you're protected by CISPA. So make sure that other attorney retains you, that he told you how long that you will be protected for. You're muted, Curtis.
She's definitely good for the next year because she's not 21 yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So, how long?
So maybe I'll just wait until she's 21. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but I would make sure I knew the date that she was going to age out at the very beginning, before you make those determinations of how long you wait to do the system calculation. Okay?
Yeah. Sorry, I cannot hear you clearly. So I actually didn't understand the thing that you say. I'm really sorry. My Wi-Fi, my connection is not really clear.
Okay.
So
make sure you do this.
Send you an email regarding that.
Yeah, I can just type it, and then we can.
Yeah. I think that's all, my question. That's all my question about.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have a new person here, Beanie.
Hello, Beanie. How are you?
Good.
How can we help you?
Okay. My question is, the NVC is going to prepare the visa appointment by the document qualified date, or they go by the priority date?
They're saying under the tiered prioritization scheme, they were going by the documentarily qualified date. I don't know what they're doing now. I'm unclear as whether that has changed. That's sort of kind of what we're trying to get at in the courts.
So in this case, what happened when we had all documents where we're submitting in 2019 in July, the last one, NVC didn't report us that they wanted my the tax return paper, and they didn't mention in the SEAC, and they just put me on a hold until I called in January 2021. So now they push me back my document qualified was the August 3rd to 2021. So now they push me back the whole 20 and 29. So is it going to be more delay for?
It's likely that you're looking like some more delays, but if you were to bring some solo case, you can make the argument that you have been waiting more than 3 years. And 3 years, some courts have found that to be unreasonable delay.
That was their mistake. They didn't let us know that they were looking for that document. They didn't send anything, message or nothing like that to me. So I was kind of, that was his file was approved, and they don't want anything or anything like that. I was in impression like in it like that, but it wasn't until I called them, and then they said they've been waiting for that, and then I submitted, and I got the document qualified email from them in August 3rd, 2021.
Right. So that's sort of something we could take to the court and the judge
Right.
in a solo case. So that's maybe something that you want to discuss with us.
Please. Okay. So what should I do to do that solo case? How can I go with there?
Email Curtis right now.
Okay.
And say that I'm interested in a solo case, and then he can explain to you how we can go about and bring that case for you.
Okay.
I think we have your email, so Omar, Curtis can just send you
Yeah, I'm gonna send her an email now.
Okay.
So we'll start discussing your case privately.
Your situation's unique because your DQ date is so much later than everyone else in this group. So
Right.
So I want to talk to you separately. So I'm going to send you an email now.
Okay.
Thank you, Bidi.
Okay. I have other hand raisers, so let me go to the next one, Selena.
Hello.
Hey, Selena, how are you?
Hello, Selena.
Okay. Hi, Curtis. Hi, Rafael. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, how is this lawsuit going to work? I mean, is this going to hold, or is this going to be turned to moot? I mean, what's going to happen forward? I mean, because the privatization scheme has been rescinded, we all know, but you guys are saying that, I mean, it might not be because the Department of State has.
You'll know if the rescission has mooted the allegations. So, is there some sort of guidance still to the post that they have to do it in a certain type of way, and that they're giving them discretion to move from that is a different question. It's a little more nuanced than that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get more information about what exactly this rescission means. So if you look on the website, they say we've rescinded it, but they don't tell us what they're doing now, right? And that's the question: what are they doing? And that's, we have to get the answers to that before we know if this case is really moot. And I think the judge agrees. That's why he was pressing them on, you have to submit either the guidance cables or you have to submit some sort of declaration telling us what's going on.
Okay, another question is, I'm from Bangladesh, so my embassy is Dhaka. So do you guys know, like, what's the current status of backlog in my embassy?
Yeah, probably 80,000 visas.
Family, I'm from family preference. I'm from the family preference category.
Yeah, I think DACA was 80,000. Well, there's no backlog in IR1s and IR2s. They've been adjudicating them at paces we've beyond what they were doing pre-COVID. So I don't think there's a backlog of IR1s and IR2s.
So the current status of backlogs for family preference categories at my embassy is around 80,000.
I think off the top of my head, that's what I remember DACA was, around 80,000.
Okay, thank you.
I may be wrong, but I think it's on my Twitter. I think I did DACA on my Twitter earlier. So it's only increased since then, probably, since I last posted about the embassy in Bangladesh.
What's interesting about DACA is they had a backlog before COVID, and there was an OIG report where the State Department had actually went and visited the embassy and said, this is a problem and you all better get a hold of it because it's only going to get worse. So that makes a compelling allegation when we file a solo complaint.
Okay. But my issue is, like, I'm from the neighboring countries, India, Philippines, Nepal. In those countries, the family preference categories is going smoothly. But here in Bangladesh, it's like stopped. It's halted since the beginning of the year. It hasn't even started till now.
I understand. So did you have any other questions?
Another thing. How long does it take to get your immigration file if you file a Freedom of Information Act to the DOS, Department of State?
Almost a year, but it varies. Sometimes it's a little shorter and sometimes it takes longer. Here's what's really frustrating. What they send you is not everything that's in that file. What they send you is everything you sent them. So if you're missing something that you sent them and you want a hold of it, the FOIA is the way to go. because it's I think it's free, isn't it? It's a little bit of work. But don't expect them to send you anything related to the adjudication of your file, because I've made FOIA requests, and that for people that are listening, it's the Freedom of Information Act request is what he's talking about. And what they send is not anything that about their deliberations. It's just what you sent them.
Oh, so they don't send anything that is like confidential. That's what you're trying to say.
Well, they send your stuff,
Yes.
which is
That's
confidential.
not what the Department of State is doing.
They don't give you any information about what their policies are. They redact that where it happens. Like on they'll send you the I-130, the original immigration petition, but they'll block out anything that they wrote on it.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
No problem. Maitri, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, Curtis. Hello, Rafael. How are you?
Doing very well. How are you?
Good. I'm a Jacob versus Jacob and Sunny currently plaintiff. Actually, I'm filing for my wife, F2A category, Bombay Consulate. And I emailed Miss Bana last week about like I'm having trouble after getting a nationalization certificate. I sent them a attachment and everything, and they're now saying there's no attachment and I have to wait for another month to get it transferred. And I haven't heard anything back from her yet. So do you guys have any idea when should I heard anything back from Miss Bana or somebody from your office?
Okay, so you sent her an email with an attachment. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I sent her an email with the naturalization certificate and the communication I had with NVC, which like I submitted a public inquiry form with the attachment of naturalization certificate, and I waited for like month and a half to get respond by NVC, and there's no, like they just tell me the status of my file, and I called them afterward and they said there's no attachment, but actually I get an email from them earlier about.
When you say them, are
public
you talking about the embassy or are you talking about Benon?
and NVC.
Okay.
So like they're saying that I have to file again for submit nationalization certificate, and I have to wait 1 more month. So is there anything you can just email them or something to make it faster?
Yeah, it's better to have Benon send the naturalization certificate to upgrade you to IR1. So if you want to send her that and just say, please, will you send this? Because I've not been successful doing it yet. And she'll send it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll email her today to just remind her again.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And congratulations on your citizenship.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Bye. I think we've got people that have that are raising their hand again. And if you do that, you have to go after the people that haven't talked yet. That's like the rule. So I want to come back to the new hand raisers after. Let me see here. Anakesh hasn't talked yet.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Curtis, Mr. Rafael. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. We can hear you loud and clear.
Hi, good. So my name is Anikesh, and I'm the previous Jacob and now Sunny plaintiff member. So I'm the petitioner for my wife. The category is F2A. My case is pretty much similar to what the previous person just said. So I have my naturalization interview in next few days. And hopefully if I get cleared, then I may be having the naturalization certificate with me the same day. And I'm planning to upload that the same in the public forum, which I see on the NVC website. Right. So I have been assigned almost a year back, Ms. Bannon and Sonia Bernard. So if you could just let me know if I should just go ahead and do that first, just to avoid the killing the time, because I believe that people are having hard time reaching out to Ms. Bannon, and it might take a few days for her to reply. And of course, she might be busy with a lot of legal stuff. So I would if you could suggest that I should go ahead and do that, number one. My next question is, how long does it usually take for NVC to change the status? And third,
let's do what not. Let's do
Sure.
one at a time, or I'll forget them. So,
Sure.
See, I've already forgot the first one. But Rafael, you got the first one?
I don't know if the first one was really a question, but yeah, you can just, there's no preemptive changing of your visa category. So you can't, you have to wait till you get your,
Yeah, there's
you have to get to wait to get your naturalization certificate before you send that over to them. So you can't say, I'm going to do this on this day. So you shouldn't you can't preemptively tell them to switch your visa category.
No, I was saying once I get the visa naturalization certificate in hand, shall I wait for Ms. Bannon to upload that on behalf of me, or shall I just go ahead the very next day to save time? Because I get
you can do both. It
Okay.
doesn't. There's nothing stopping you from doing both. I find that the embassy treats our emails with a little, just barely. They're a little bit more responsive to our emails.
Okay, thanks for that. My follow-up question is, my wife's embassy is in Mumbai, which I'm pretty sure that they might take some time, but how long does NVC takes to change the status from F2A to IR1?
Anything NVC does take 60 to 90 days.
I see, okay.
You could try to get it, sometimes it happens sooner, but literally anything that NVC touches can take up to 60 days.
Okay. And my third question would be, from your experience, I've not been actively following, how long does the Mumbai embassy taking for IR1 visa categories to schedule an interview? My priority date for my wife is April 15, 2018, and the documentally qualified is April 15th again, 2019.
You should get an interview scheduled right away.
So
I think they're working on 20. Last time they sent us, I think in Jacob, they sent us a list of what days they were working on for each visa category. And I think they were already in 2020 for IR1s and IR2s. But then again, we don't know how they're processing cases now. They moved on from the tier prioritization scheme. You may have been benefiting under the tier prioritization scheme by being an IR1 and IR2. You may not have that same benefit now because they're processing F2A cases or another group of cases at a bigger rate. We don't know. So listen, anything that was happening last month may not be happening this month. So it's hard to tell.
I agree. But I just wanted to get an idea as to what priority date is they're running for IR1s, so that I'll be more equipped with in case I need to.
Last time they reached out, I think it was maybe February or somewhere in the first half of 2020 is when they sent us that in Jacob. So that Jacob was like 6 months ago at this point. So then maybe they moved on, but maybe they haven't moved on. I remember Mumbai was shut down when we were in the heat of Jacob. Mumbai was completely closed. So I don't know where they're at now. But then again, sometimes making sure your case gets across the finish line is just making sure somebody's paying attention to it. And based on your resources and your situation, you may want to just bring a mandamus action so somebody's picking up that file and somebody's paying attention to it to make sure the visa category is being switched, make sure that you're being treated as you should be treated. And there's ways we can help you with that as well. So if you want to, and it may save you money. A lot of people I talk to send expenses back home, and those expenses sometimes are more than just hiring us to do a mandamus action. So reach out to us on that if you want to explore that route.
Sure, I'll do. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rafael and Curtis.
No problem. So someone in the group chat has asked this question, how big is the backlog at Mumbai Embassy, India? And I found a declaration from October 12th in the government's motion to dismiss, where they say, let me see here. As of June 7th, they reopened for IV, but their capacity is at 40% of pre-pandemic. Shoot, but they don't tell us how big the backlog is specific to that embassy. The last time we got a declaration that said how big the backlog is was at Mumbai, was earlier in the year in Jacob. And if I remember correctly, the number 1 and number 2 embassies for backlogs were Mumbai and Manila. And they both had like 10,000 at that time, 9,000 and 10,000. Does that sound right, Raphael?
The last time I tweeted about this was in January. They said 17,000 immigrant visa cases were backlogged in December, and they were issuing only 400 a month. So
Yeah.
that was back in January. So it's probably ballooned to maybe, I would say 30, 40,000 in Mumbai, probably.
Right. So it's pretty big. Okay. So let me Usman, I think is the next one.
Hi, Morris. This is Usmana. I'm talking on behalf of my mom, Sadia. She filed for my sister. She has already passed her age. We filed for her in 2017 when she was 20, and then she's 24 now. But we got the DQ in January 2021, and after that we just getting that email that after 60 days that your case is still at NVC and your documentary qualified. And so I just want to ask, like, what are going to be the next step? Like, how is solo, if I go with the solo route for mandamus, how is it going to help me, or how is it going to be better than the group one?
Well, the facts of your case are the only facts that they're looking at. So they can pay more attention to your case and resolve it more efficiently by just paying attention to you. That's the difference. So if, like, it's hard when we have a case with 400 to 500 people, it's great for bringing attention to systemic problems. Like, this is affecting a lot of people. So the judge can look at the systemic problems. Now, if 1 or 2 of those clients have a problem that's individualized, the judge and the court and the attorneys for the government aren't going to pay attention to those individualized problems, right? So they can pay attention. In your kind of case, they can look at this little individual problem where you have a case of an age out and resolve it quickly because they're paying more attention to it, and they can know that it resolves the entire case. So as soon as they move on that case, we'd likely dismiss it and not bring any further action on your case as soon as they adjudicate your case. So that's the benefit of bringing a solo mandamus case as opposed to a group case.
And that solo also takes like 60 days from the government to respond.
It does, but usually they respond not with a motion to dismiss. Usually what happens is they say, oh, this case just got scheduled for an interview. Can we get an extension? And then you guys file a motion, and then you file your own dismissal once the visa is approved. Or there's a decision on the visa. And then that's generally what happens in these solo mandamus cases.
So when we go through the solo route, so they don't see like how long is the backlog at the embassy, and just
they do, but we can pay more attention to the facts in your case, right? Because you say you have an age out problem,
right?
And therefore, the age outs should be expedited before they age out, and then we can bring that to the government's attorney's attention. And they'll take it back to their client, which is the Department of State, and say, oh yeah, let's get this case moved out, and then dismiss the case.
Yeah, so if I want to go, like, I can just contact Morris.
Yeah, just drop your email right here in the email box, and then Curtis will send you an intro.
Or you can email me, curtis@morrisonurena.com.
Yeah, I'll share his email here.
I have his
Okay,
email.
great.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. And since there's questions about solo mandamus, there's something that everybody I talk to about solo mandamus, I make sure that they understand. You have 2 options on where to file the case. With these big cases, these group cases, we had lots of options where to file because we have petitioners everywhere in the US. But with an individual case, you only have 2 options on which court to file in. And that would be Washington, D.C., because that's where the government lives, or the district court in the district where the petitioner lives, okay, lives now, not where they used to live, or, well, unless they live abroad, then it's where they used to live. But it's the individual district in the U.S. Because I find that we want to really look at those options if it's somebody that's living in districts where we got good judges, where we have good judges. Like New York and California, we have pretty good judges. So something to keep in mind.
I'm in Connecticut.
So did you have any other questions?
No.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Thank you. I think Beanie still has her hand raised. I don't know if it's intentional. Beanie, did you have something else to say? You can talk if you do. And then is there any more questions? It doesn't look, oh, Beanie, did you have another question?
No, I'll just talk to you in the email what we can do about that. And
Okay.
I already sent the message to you, but I didn't get any reply from you. So I
Okay.
don't know. You didn't get it.
Yeah, I'll get back with you when I'm done with this. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. Like the way I understand the solo complaint, like when we do the individual like case to that, they have a more attention to it, right? That's what I heard from you.
The facts, the government and the court is going to look closer to your facts of your individual case. Yes. And since there are children in your case, that would be compelling.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Did you have another question? Matri?
No, I just want to know like how IR1 for IR1 category solo case will work if I choose to go with solo mandamus appeal or something like that.
How a solo mandamus case would work in the IR1 and IR2 category?
Hello.
Was that the question? How a solo mandamus case works for an IR1?
Yeah, because I'm trying to transfer it. So if I like to take that option, how that work, I want to know a little bit more about it. So
I want to jump in here because it works better for IR1s than anyone. And the irony of this is the reason it does. Did you notice in the Jacob case, and oh no, I think he disappeared. In the Jacob and the Sonny case, the government argued, and Wilson, they argued spouses and children of the US citizens are so important, we have to do those within 30 days. And they've done it so enthusiastically that now they've created new law that says that they have to do those that fast. So they've kind of got themselves in a trap where arguing against the spouses of green card holders, they've created law that supports a mandamus for spouses of citizens. Would you agree, Raphael? Yeah. I hate that the person that asked the question disappeared, though. I'm not sure if they fell out or what happened. Looks like Selena has a question.
Hey, Curtis, thanks again.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, in the immigration file, that's with the Department of State. I'm asking because we visited USA back in 92. So is that travel history recorded in the file?
Probably not.
Back in 1992, that's almost 30 years ago. Is that travel history in our immigration file?
Immigration, which you submitted.
I didn't understand what could you repeat that?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. Your travel history. We don't quite understand what that means.
No, I'm asking we visited USA back in 1992. So is that travel history? In the immigration file.
The fact that you went to the United States in 1992, is that in your file?
Yes, yes, yes.
I think in your file would definitely be an visa application. I don't know if they have the actual, whether you entered the United States or not. I think that they started tracking the entries and exits into the United States in 2001 after 9/11. So,
They
but
started tracking.
I'm not an expert in that sort of thing. So I'm not
So
sure.
according to your, as far as you know, they started tracking from 2001.
I think so, but I'm not.
No, I'm asking this because when we visited during that time, and there was a small error in my passport. There's an error in my name. So I mean, is it going to be a big issue?
If they question your identity, then it could become a big issue. But if they don't question your identity, it won't be a big issue. If they don't believe you are who you say you are. But if you're disclosing that you were this person, I don't think there would be, and it was just a spelling error, I don't think there's going to be an issue.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I was checking the DS-260 because I know you have to disclose previous US travel. Yes.
Yes, I did.
And so you did disclose it, though.
Yeah, you guys
Yes,
disclose.
yes.
Yeah. You have to
But the
disclose
problem is,
history and your travel history as well. And
yes, but
you have to also disclose whether you used a different name or not. So you're gonna have to tell them that you used that different name in your passport. So
Right.
yes, Rafael.
Under alias, under the personal section, maybe reopen your DS-260 and add the alias with the different spelling of your name.
How to open the DS-260 now? Because I'm DQ'd. I cannot open it.
Oh, well,
No.
just tell them at the embassy. Just wait till the interview. Just put a little sticky note on your file to remind you, to tell them that you forgot to add an alias and remembered later, and it's just where your name is misspelled one letter. It'll be fine. You can add at the interview changes to your DS-260 that are very minor. There's no reason to open it for something that's minor, only major things. Would you agree, Raphael?
But yeah, if you can get ahead of those, so it's better.
Yeah, Curtis, can you hear me?
Yes.
So is the DS-260 in front of you in the monitor?
Yes.
In the previous US travel history, you see they ask for a visa number, right? If you can see it.
Length of stay, date arrived. Have you ever been issued a visa? Right. Then they want a visa number. And you have a
Yes.
box there that you can check do not know.
Yes. So like the issue is, like, I'm asking about it because we lost the passport. The passport we used to, we had to, I mean, the passport with which we travel USA.
Okay, then
We
check
lost
do
the
not
passport.
know. Yeah, you don't know that.
Yes. And if you check the box do not know, then there's another box appears where you can put an explanation. So we put an explanation that we lost the passport.
Okay.
So is it going to be a major issue? Are they going to suspect something during
That
the
does
interview?
not sound like a major issue to me. That does not
Okay.
sound major to me.
Okay.
You should be fine on that. So I see where we have one more question. Or anything else, Selena?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Viraj.
Well,
Can you hear me?
Robert, how are you?
Good. I wanted to ask, do you guys have any idea what the backlog is at the Nairobi embassy?
I do not.
That's funny. I'm looking at this thing right here. The last declaration where the government provided us information about Nairobi was October 12th, and they didn't say how big the backlog was, but they said that on June 17th, the government of Kenya announced restrictions for hotspot zones. Let me see here. Due to COVID-19, the embassy must limit the in-person workforce. They've maximized resources to accommodate as many immediate family and fiance cases as possible. And they're scheduling a limited number of families. So no useful information at all. So we don't know.
Okay.
What we do know is from like a year ago. So it's not helpful.
All right. So then to my second question is like, you see, if you're in a normal visas processing timeline, right? So would an individual mandamus actually work, right? Because the government could just argue that, hey, look, there are people behind you in line. Why do you want to get ahead in line?
Yes, it can work. It works.
Yeah, it's worked for a long time. That's generally the tool that people have used before COVID, before Trump, was a mandamus lawsuit. If there's an unreasonable delay, you go to the court, and so there's a body of casework of law that's developed that says how long is an unreasonable delay. And sometimes the more conservative judges say 2 to 3 years is not unreasonable. Well, the thing is, they're usually looking at cases when they say that for immigration benefits for people that are residing inside the USA, not separated families where someone's living in Kenya, So usually we can distinguish ourselves from the worst cases in the case law. And that's why we have a lot of success with mandamuses.
So in your opinion, what would be an unreasonable delay for an F2 case?
Oh, well, okay. So the court looks at something called track factors, and just the visa category doesn't tell the whole picture. Your DQ status, like what day were you DQ?
July 2021.
That's going to be a hard case.
Right.
We're going to have to be lucky and get the right liberal judge, because the majority of people are in front of you in the line. Right. So that being said, if it was a member of my family, I would file the case. We filed cases for employees of our law firm that were shorter than that, and they were successful. So the thing is, just keep in mind, and I would disclose this to you when we were doing the individual consult, is the law is not 100% on your side, because there's a lot of case law out there that says that your delay is reasonable.
Right.
Sometimes United States attorneys just don't want to do the work, and it's just easier for the government to process a visa than to fight us in court. So they make a determination that it's better use of our resources just to get this off of our desk.
I see. All right, thanks.
I mentioned track factors. I want to go into that a little bit. One of the, and it's named for the case, this case named track, but one of the factors is health and welfare factor. And if there's, besides the family separation, which we would go into, if there's any health situations or other kind of hardships, we would get to focus on those in a way that we don't get to in the group cases. In the group cases, we're usually challenging an unlawful policy, and we're focusing in on that. But if it's a solo individual mandamus lawsuit, we can go deeper on what your individual hardship is. Sometimes it's economic, sometimes it's just like your immediate relative, your spouse's medical access. It could be a lots of different things.
Right. All right, thanks. I'll consider that.
No problem. Thanks. Okay. Oh, there's in the Q&A, I've got something. Let me see here. Open. I want your clients in Wilson. Sorry, I missed the meeting, but is there any hope? Murad, I get asked that question an awful lot, and it is a difficult question because yes, there is hope. We would not be litigating if we didn't think that there was hope, but it's very important that you stay positive. Okay. Raphael and I have worked for a firm where there was someone, a petitioner one time that lost hope and took his life. And so it really scares me every time I get a message that says, is there any hope? Because I know that you're at this place where you're worried that's like, this isn't going to work out. And it will work out. Just understand the work that we're doing is trying to make it work out as quickly as possible. Okay, so stay positive. You say your DQ date, and the next question is April 2019, which is one of the longer DQ dates. Your delay is longer, so
Working them on, actually. I think you could get some.
huh?
I think that would work in Roman.
Yeah.
I don't think the backlog's as big there.
So yeah, I would hope your delay wasn't that much longer, but if you wanted to, if you had the resources to do a solo mandamus case, that would be the way to end this hell you're going through. So, and that's all the questions we have now. Oh, no, well, no, Viraj already talked. So no more questions. Let me see here. There's somebody in chat. Someone asked for the important keynotes because they joined the call late. Do you want to do the important keynotes, Raphael? Or the overview?
You'll share the video with them.
Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll share the video with you, Preston. And then Hubert is given a last minute question, and then we're done. Hubert. I like your name, Hubert. You just have to unmute. There you are.
Hello?
Yes.
Yep. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, all right. My name is Hubert, and I'm sorry I didn't listen from the beginning, but I was gonna tell you my case. My DQ is January 2021. My PD is April 2019. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and my case is at NVC. The embassy is Kenya, Nairobi.
Yeah.
And I'm desperate to know when, everything is gonna come to an end. And I was thinking about the solo mandamus, but I see as you said, there's a lot of people ahead in front of me. And I was wondering if there's any chance that I can do it. I know it's very expensive. When you challenge, you say we're gonna pay 7,000. I think that's a lot of money, but I think the 5,000 is reasonable a little bit. And I was wondering if there's any chance that they don't challenge my case.
Right. So
yeah.
So one factor I would point out right away is I see here you have children that you're separated from.
Yeah.
That's going to be a compelling factor. And I would say they would be less likely to challenge your case because of the children, because that family separation, parent from a child, is really compelling. Since you live in Texas, we would file the case in DC. The Texas judges, we don't want anywhere near them. So we find the assistant U.S. attorneys in New York and DC work better than most U.S. attorneys with resolving cases. So filing in DC and the fact that you have children as derivatives on the case, so you don't have the option to naturalize to get your spouse here, because then the children would fall off. So I think it's a compelling case.
Also, I have N40 pending since April 2020. I've done the biometrics. I don't know if there's something that can push that to, or if you.
Are you talking about the N400 and the naturalization?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You know that, right?
Hey, why? Why?
Well, your children are. Do you have individual petitions for them?
No.
Okay, so if you naturalize, your children fall off of your immigration petition for your wife, and they don't get to come to the U.S. until you file a new petition, and that could take another, 1 to 2 year delay. So I would not want you to naturalize unless you consider that risk. One way you could leverage against that risk is file, it's money again that you shouldn't have to spend, but you could file I-130 petitions right now for both of your children. And that way at least they would have a petition coming, but you know, that's going to be a while before those are approved.
Right.
If you
Okay.
reach out to Curtis by email, discuss the possibility of a mandamus case in your case. I think we could work something out. And you have
Okay.
and then we have some factors in your case that I think we can leverage to get
okay.
your embassy, Nairobi, to adjudicate your case. You have this sort of pending N-400 that you can't do without risking your children dropping off there. You've been documentarily qualified for a year now. I think there's some things that we could leverage on your case if we brought a solo mandamus. So reach out to Curtis and he can discuss that with you and you can weigh your options there.
Okay. All
Because
right.
I think you're about to make a mistake, or you were about to make a mistake there that could have proved both costly and timely, both money and time on your case. And I think you would be better served by doing a solo mandamus.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So I shared in the chat earlier what the deadlines are. I'm going to say that one more time so that everybody knows, and there's no surprise on that. The government's motion is due December 23rd. I love that. They have to work Christmas week. They deserve it. And then our opposition is due January 14th to their motion. And then they get to reply on January 24th. And what's really good about Judge Kogan is he won't drag this out. He'll issue an order, and I don't know. I can't say when, but I predict it would be early February. Raphael, what do you think? Sometime in February.
We got to see what the government says. I think they don't come correct with either their declaration or the guidance. I think we may see some discovery go on.
Yeah.
If they come correct, they may push that out. So it's too tough to tell. We'll know on the 23rd. But if they do come correct, Kogan writes quick, and so he'll issue an order quick.
Yeah, he's a good judge. So
yeah.
Okay. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.
Hi, this is Curtis Morrison. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Thank you.